Good afternoon, everybody on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. Good to see y'all. Earlier, I tried to do this live stream, and life happens, and you got to go do things. So I had to stop early. This one's roughly going to be about 30 minutes or so. We're going to be going over some of the stuff from 2025, projects I was on, things I got to do, and areas where I might be of the best support for you if you have a project coming up and you're looking for someone to help either in production, producing, or if it's just, a little bit of support here and there. This first project would be Sleeping Beauty. I got to work with a really, really cool executive producer, and I got to be the producer, sound, video, all in one person for them. For the capture of the video, I even got a chance to go on to the stage, which was unbelievable. We'll get into that later after you see everything. But first and foremost, I'd like to show you the Sleeping Beauty one. This one was great. Treyana is amazing. So here we go. This one's going to be roughly about 10 minutes, so enjoy and watch.
What's up, everybody? Trey Holiday here, and we are at McCall Hall for P&B's world premiere of Sleeping Beauty, y'all. That's right. Pacific Northwest Ballet is bringing us a remix of Sleeping Beauty. Now, while we may know the story, we've never seen it done this way with some of the amazing people that they have to pull this phenomenal show together. And I'm really excited because I have somebody joining me from the community tonight to give us his perspective of the first time being at the ballet. So y'all know that in true Converge fashion, we wanted to show y'all what it's like to be pulling together an epic event like this. And P&B has opened up their doors so that we can see all the ins and outs. And I'm so grateful that one of our community members, Cy Holland, is here to join me tonight. And so we'll be tapping in with him to see what he can expect, what he's excited for, and maybe some of the reasons why he's felt a bit excluded from the ballet. You know, for me, y'all, it's all about opening up these doors so that you know that the ballet, the opera, the theater, it is here for you. So I'm excited. You can tell energy is high. The expectations are buzzing because we have had some phenomenal people involved in the music, the choreography, the costume design, the set design. It has truly been a crew that is made for world premieres, y'all. So I'm glad that you're joining me, and we'll be giving you a glimpse of Sleeping Beauty, the world premiere here at P&B. All right, y'all, we got Cy Holland joining me tonight. Cy, this is your first time at the ballet. Yeah, tell me a bit about what you're kind of looking forward to.
To be honest with you, I have no expectations. I've never been to a ballet. I don't know what to look forward to. I'm enjoying the fact that it's a lot of beautiful people coming in here, very vibrant colors all over the place. But I'm like, I know what I think a ballet is supposed to be, but now I'm going to find out what it actually is. I'm nervous as heck, but I'm also ready to, go full forward with it and enjoy myself. So I don't know honestly, I don't know what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Hopefully people entice dancing and enjoying and seeing the beauty of the art that it is, and how can that manifest with me so I can go take this back to where I'm from and let these people understand, hey, ballet is a beautiful thing, so I'm open to it.
Well, I'm so glad that you are, and honestly, this is huge for me to have you joining me tonight. But I do want to touch on a topic here because I think, we're talking about the exclusivity of certain art forms.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like this was really not a space for you?
Well, to be honest with you, yes. I only know two people in the world that did ballet that were black. Men. I don't know any black women that ever did ballet. I don't know any. Sweetness, which is Walter Payton, and then a friend, Brian of mine, that he did ballet back in North Carolina. So that's the only thing I know about ballet. I know it's a beautiful art form, but as far as black people concerned, who? No. So I hope some black people are in here. Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that's going to blow me away. I'm really looking forward to that because the spaces that we're afforded the opportunity to be involved in, we really make beautiful stuff. We really turn it up, and I want to see what we can do in a space like this.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I know two people that ever been involved in ballet, and I want to see what others can do with it. Yeah, I'm totally for that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you are. And I can say one thing that I have really experienced with Pacific Northwest Ballet
Okay.
is their intentionality to have diversity on their stage, to have diversity in the staff. And so I'm hoping that you're experiencing some of that. But you know a little bit about Sleeping Beauty, so you're familiar with the story. So I'm glad this is a great show for you to come and see.
I wanted to see the Nutcracker back in the day.
Yeah.
But I never got to see that. That would have been, you know, poop. But so what? Sleeping Beauty is, yeah, come on now. That's one of my things from Disney.
Yeah.
Take me all the way back. Yeah, totally informed them.
Well, you and I are in for a treat tonight. Yeah. We'll make sure that we get your, full review at the end of the night. So thanks again for joining me.
For sure. I'm a little sleepy, so I hope I don't fall asleep.
I got you.
I think they're going to have me all the way turned up tonight. I'm going to have a good time. I can't wait.
Well, right on, Cy. We're going to go in soon.
Yeah.
Y'all stay tuned. We're going to hear back from Cy after we watch this amazing show.
Honest review, too. Honest review.
It's interesting with ballet, with dance, I'm designing a character and then the dancer more so molds himself to it.
So interesting, because we talk with dance students a lot about how they want to serve the profession of ballet and they see themselves in the one thing, which is dancing, probably on center in the limelight. In the end, people can serve a profession, sometimes even in a deeper and more lasting way, by being on the board of trustees, being the costume designer, being the director. But all those things you mentioned, wanting to sing, wanting to dance, wanting to act, and here you are enhancing all of those for others and living.
When I think about dance, I mean, really that is, it's blended with my love of clothing and fabric and really understanding movement. And I understand what my body does when it's moving, so then I also understand what clothing does on my body when it's moving, and then I apply that to, if you've seen West Side Story and you see Ariana DeBose dancing, that dress is engineered in a very specific way so it will move with her. It's interesting with ballet, with dance, I'm designing a character and then the dancer molds himself to it. I want to create a certain kind of reaction with the fabric, and it becomes an extension of the body.
Whoa, that was a phenomenal show, Cy. I gotta ask, how was your first time at the ballet seeing Sleeping Beauty, the world premiere for PNB?
Honestly, I'll get the bad things out first. It was long,
Yeah.
longer than I expected. But it was a lot of surprises in that longevity. My butt hurts, but I'll get over that. I really was enjoying seeing all of the stuff that was going on, everything from one side to the other, trying to keep up with it.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. And you telling me that I needed that book to get me through would have been important for us both. So I was, catching up to it. I needed more. I needed more as far as just me understanding what was going on. Because nobody says anything. I really enjoyed the orchestra. That was phenomenal. I think they were playing some Beethoven in there. Something I was like, oh, this sounds like some classical music I remember.
Yeah.
But just understanding what's going on was kind of like the eye opener for me, and everybody clapping at a certain time.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool, definitely.
Well, I gotta say, you really came to a phenomenal opening for your first ballet.
Yeah.
I was talking about the influence of the monarch butterflies, and you could see it in the costumes so clearly.
Monarchs?
Monarch butterflies. So you were having some wow moments when you saw all of the fairies on their tips of their toes, like on point, they call it. You gasped.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing a ballerina in actual action, I mean, you see it in a movie or something for a couple minutes, but if you see it and they're just, what's the pirouette for just the whole thing and they're on their toes, I was just in such disbelief. I wanted to see more of the men do it because, I have a kinder spirit. I'm like, oh, your toes must be hurting too, dude, But it was so phenomenal to see all these people just on their toes, dancing, jumping, dropping back down to their toe. And then when they kick the leg up and they hold it, I was like, what
is going
that
on?
just blew me away. I'm like, you guys aren't falling, no shaking, no nothing. Wow, it's a beautiful art, but it's a difficult sport.
I bet.
It has to be difficult. So I was really enamored by ballet.
Well, you know a lot about sports. You're a coach, but
Yeah.
also you mentioned something that I think is really valuable in terms of other people from our community being able to see this in person.
Yeah.
You know, that being eye-opening for others. Speak a little bit to that point.
Well, I felt like it could have been some more of us, black people in the crowd, just to see that, just to experience. I don't know, like I told you before, I don't know anybody who's did ballet, right? So I definitely don't know anybody who's even been to seeing it.
Yeah.
Except maybe the Nutcracker. That's like the go-to. But why not? Why can't we be in these type of spaces where it's really posh, it's people that are dressed really nice, having a good time, champagne's flowing, it's celebratory, and you're seeing a great show.
Yeah.
We'd love to be in that. And then next thing you know, it'll be more people on stage. It was great seeing a lot of black people on stage. I didn't expect that at all neither. So it was great to see a lot of black people. And I mean, the main guy was a black guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, do your thing, So it was great seeing us being represented on the stage, but I also want to see us represented in the stands, So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Sai, thanks again for joining me.
Man, thank
We'll
you.
have you come into more shows, Sai,
Yeah,
because it sounds like you can become a fan just
Hey,
like I
gotta
was.
bring my seat cushion like
There
I
you
go to a
go.
baseball game, and then I'll be fine.
There you
I'll
go.
be good to go.
Y'all, this is incredible. What a phenomenal night. Thanks again, Sai, for being with me.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to do it again.
Right on.
Yes.
Well, hello, welcome back. And by the way, thank you, Nikki, for showing up. I'm doing good, by the way. So this was kind of fun. Everything you saw, I filmed. From the dancers, from the ballet itself, the sound that you were hearing in the background, that was the music that was on stage, was also recorded into my FX30 so that we could have that as an option. It was an amazing opportunity to be able to film that, every aspect of it, get on stage, which is, when you're on that stage, it's enormous. We also got to see the toast of this being their first production. You get the toast, you get the accolades and all the thank yous, and we got to be back there and see everything. Thank you, Nikki, I appreciate that. And the experience of being able to be the producer for that, from every aspect, and deciding all the elements from where we're going to do the interview, how we're going to do it. Should we be on stage? Yes, sir. Thank you. Should we be on stage? Should we be somewhere else? Where can we do the initial location interview? It's a ton of fun. And that was a little challenging too, because we only had like 10 minutes to tear down the FX30, which was connected to their audio system, and get down to the stage. And we were doing, thank you, we were doing, what was it? A solo by myself as a producer, and mostly everything there. It was a really light crew that day. We had to get all that done, gimbal up, get downstairs for the interview, also have to get some B-roll of what's going on, and we had to do 2 lens changes during the show. So we had an 18-105 power zoom lens for the first half, and then we had a 100-400 G Master for the second half, and it allowed for beautiful shots and amazing all the way around, but it was a little bit of a challenge. We're also the Rode Wireless Pros. I've got to say, I've worked with so many wireless mic systems in the past, and the Rode Wireless Pros have just been enormously powerful. As a tool in my toolbox, they're there. It's the best tools I've ever had for wireless mics, because the 32-bit float recording, the nice lavalier microphones, the ability to separate it in the stereo, which was really good in this particular case. So that in the initial recording, it was left and right recording, and allowed them to blend it a little bit smoother. That way they could adjust the voices, because his voice was a little bit more powerful than hers, and it blended very well. The editing team on the back end did a phenomenal job. I have to say, they always do a phenomenal job of editing the material I bring to them. So the team is just beautiful to work with. The next up is going to be Art Corp. I'm only going to play about a minute of the Art Corp one here, but this was actually a beautiful fundraiser I worked with. I did some capturing and part of the recap. So this is going to be their recap of that, and it was amazing. These artists were amazing. So let me show you this real quick. We're going to play for about a minute.
We are celebrating Thrive 2025, Arts Corps' annual fundraiser, and we are in the amazing WOW gallery filled with color and energy and amazing people and food. Our mission supports youth through art by getting at those students that are most in need of what the arts can give them. So critical thinking skills, decision making, problem solving are all integrated into our programming. We do after school programming, arts integration, as well as teen art internships, which are paid. Our students absolutely unfold to be the best human beings that they can be through going through our programs.
Tonight is the Thrive fundraiser. We just got done with an amazing and immaculate event. I'm so happy to work for Arts Corps. We are getting and garnering fundraising money for our youth. Arts Corps is about making sure that youth have no barriers to arts education. And so tonight, we're raising money for that.
Art, singing, music, crafts, everything.
All right, I cut that a little bit shorter than the rest because it's just a recap video that I want to let them have more power with than me displaying it here. But I wanted to show what we can do with the recap videos. That was amazing. The WOW Museum, if you haven't been there, it's in downtown Seattle. You need to go to it. It's an amazing museum. The people that run it are phenomenal. If you ever want to do an intimate event that is just feeling like you're at home, but still have the ability to be a large event at the same time, it's the best venue I see in Seattle for that. It's an amazing place to go. It's phenomenal to work with, and the people there are genuinely about the community of Seattle, so it's just phenomenal. Couple things that was me there. So all the video content you see, that is me solo. All of the sound is by me and all the lighting. And we were in a kind of a tight spot to work in the first place. So normally I wouldn't have somebody that's so close to the art and the rest, but sometimes you got to work with what you got to work with. So you got to make it work out in a very positive way. And, you know, we can handle almost any challenges with our teams and our experts because, you know, you've got a large event going on. You've got people in multiple rooms. You got someone dancing in another room, doing performances in another room, showing off art in another room. And you want to be able to still provide what they need in visual storytelling as a result afterwards. And that's one of the things that's important when you're a visual storyteller and when you are the arbiter of telling their story. And remember, it's their story, it's not yours. So you've got to somehow get that whole event, get everything, get the energy, get it all in one spot. And that's very, very important. So remember that whenever you're doing any of this type of work, that we've got to always be about them and always be about their vision. Now, next on our list here is Wanawar. This, I'll let them speak for themselves. This is such a great experience, such a privilege to see this type of art and where it is in Seattle. Unbelievable. So this is going to be about 4 minutes, so enjoy.
Hey everybody, Deontay Damper here, and I'm here at the opening reception of STG Presents, the gallery featuring the one and only Wanawari. This is an amazing space where they have Wanawari's art exhibit here in the Paramount Theater. Come check it out.
This is the opening reception for the gallery with Wanawari. The gallery is a space that is here in the Paramount Bar that we partner with galleries, community spaces that are making an impact in the community, in the area, and certainly Wanawari is one of those spaces. So we're here to celebrate the artists, the art, and really put focus on Wanawari in our community.
So this partnership with Wanawari and STG I think is huge. I think that we've broken a barrier in a way that's not traditionally broken. And I say that because it's hard for artists to kind of get into places and spaces like this. But I think the approach that we've taken in terms of investing in us first, increasing our own value and showing people what we think we're worth and know what we're worth, showing the direct impact that we're having in the community has garnered a lot of attention that normally wouldn't have been received had we just went knocking on people's doors.
The reason that Wanawari is special, they're more than just art in the space. They're community service. They're servicing areas and communities have that need and want that in their spaces. It's an organization that also values and has strong values similar to what STG has. We consider ourselves the People's Theater, and they're out there in the community doing also the work.
It's a partnership where we want to highlight what is happening in our home, in our area, and the incredible artists that are right here in our backyard. So the artwork will be in the Paramount, in the gallery space for a year. So everyone who's coming to the Paramount, to Broadway shows, to concerts, to dance, you'll get a chance to view this artwork, and they can also purchase the artwork that they see on the walls. You go directly with the artist, SPG, the Paramount, we're not taking a commission or a cut of that. All of the artwork purchases go directly to the artist.
Coming in here and seeing the other artists and their work and hearing more about the context and the intention behind their work is humbling to be in this space with it. As a Black artist, I feel like we create for our community. I wouldn't make the work that I was making if it wasn't for the desire to talk to us. Like, I want my work to speak to us. It's not for any other demographic, even though I think they should be able to identify with it and the human aspect of it. But I want to tell a Black story. Like, with the pride and the love that I have for Blackness, to Black people who have that same pride and love. So, like, getting the support from the community that I'm talking to is indescribable. It's nothing like that.
My grandfather passed before my grandmother, and for the last 5 years of his life, his grandchildren who essentially took care of him. One of the last things that he said to us before he went was his only wish is for his children and his grandchildren to get together and figure out what was going to happen with these properties. And that stuck with us. We fought tooth and nail for years against internal and external powers in order to maintain these properties. We figured out a pathway and a formula that worked, and we're now seeing the desired result. We've achieved that.
I mean, we had an amazing time tonight. DJ Topspin, good food, and the amazing Wanawari art exhibit right here in the Paramount Theater. You can't get any better than that. So grateful for STG, so grateful for Wanawari, and so grateful for everyone who showed up tonight. I gotta go. I gotta get my groove on. Have a good night.
So first and foremost, I got to thank Nikki for the compliment about editing, but I've got to say right up front, it's the editing team. It's not me. I can edit all those the same way, but most importantly, it's a teamwork thing. We have one of the best teams for editing where I can focus fully and solely on capturing the best footage and hitting the shot list, hitting what I've got to do to make this vision come to life. It's very important. And last year, especially in 2025, was a community year for me. So I've been in the world of doing AV and photography for almost a decade. And a lot of times I'm doing a lot of corporate stuff, a lot of bigger things. And I've got to say, sometimes you got to be community oriented. And I was community oriented last year, and I loved it. It was, I had a focus. I wanted to elevate it, and I got an opportunity to do it. I still did all my corporate stuff. I still did, the normal things we're doing for venture capital stuff and all the, live events there. Doing like 35 of those last year and all the rest. But being able to be part of these type of projects is just an absolute amazing blessing in life to be able to do. We've got a couple more of these coming up, and one of these, I've got to say, was amazing. And it was all about the food. And we're also going to talk about one of the key things that was in both in this last video and in the video coming up. Sometimes the best tool you have for some of your video is this. So we were dealing with a day of rain. And, well, if you all know, I don't like getting my cameras wet. They can handle it, but when it's really bad rain, I just don't like doing it. But these are waterproof. So I want you to watch this video. Everything that's outside of the building was actually filmed on an S24. This is the new Ultra, but it was filmed on an S24 using the Blackmagic camera app. And also all of the art on the previous video was filmed on an S24. It just turned out the look was better than the high-end camera I had, because I had an f4 lens sitting on that camera, and I wanted something that was a little more shallow depth and a little bit different type of pop. And if you know your stuff, you can make that happen here. So yes, it was filmed on here, the Blackmagic camera app. I got everything in 180 degrees and had everything done right. Yes, you can do that. You can, Nikki. It's pretty awesome. And yes, it is cool. I love being able to utilize every one of the tools out there at our disposal. So it's not just a camera, it's also understanding the way a camera works and how it will best work for you. So let's take a look at this. If you're ever in Seattle and you want a breakfast that's going to take you back home to the South, there's a place called Fats. And I got to tell you, it's where Cherry Martin Luther King is. You need to go there. It used to be Catfish Corner, but this is now the best breakfast place to go to in Seattle, especially if you like biscuits and gravy, if you like that old country style breakfast, and if you're someone who's been down south and been to Chicken and Waffle House, this will get your attention. So let's talk about it, and let's show you this breakfast joint.
Fast Chicken and Waffles is your favorite auntie's house. It's where you go to get good food. You come here for the vibe and for the energy. It's a place that serves up what your favorite relative always puts on the table. Fats has been open since August 29th of 2015. We're actually going on 9 years of being open. The menu was inspired from New Orleans cuisine. I mean, I feel like that region in itself, the food has made its way all the way to the Pacific Northwest. You have different people putting their spin on it, but you just pay homage to that region because that food is just food that speaks to your soul. I mean, that's what soul food is. There's no one way to make soul food. Everyone's gonna put their own spin and their flavors on it, and that's what makes it soul food, because you're honestly making food that comes from your soul. People come here in particular, and why they've come over the years, we have all races of people that come. They come for the food, but they always come back for the vibe. I mean, there's good music that's playing, you know, the honey butter chicken biscuit sandwich. I mean, I honestly can change the name of this restaurant to that, but that would be a super long name for a restaurant, right? But that in itself is just like a mind-blowing experience. Of course, you're coming for the chicken, but then we have catfish, red beans, collard greens. You're just coming for what your spirit needs that day. So your spirit's like, I need some good soul food. I want it from this space. I know what I'm gonna get when I walk in the door. We have this sort of restaurant where we're gonna remember what you always order. It's like your favorite auntie's restaurant. Why wouldn't you go there? It's just an expansion of what it is that I've always wanted to do. When I perform music, I saw myself doing it. So I got involved in the culture. It's just a part of who I am. And wanting to own a restaurant, same thing. Got to get myself involved into it. So it's like, as you get older, you just express yourself in a different way. This restaurant is like me performing every day. So, real talk, so we have two butters. We have a bourbon butter that we serve with our chicken and waffles. And then we have the honey butter that goes on that biscuit. And it's just like heaven. It's like dessert while you're eating. It's like Thanksgiving, and instead of putting, like you have yams, but then you also put a piece of sweet potato pie on your plate. That's what I do. Because I mean, I'm not gonna wait for the pie later. I'm putting it all with everything, with all the stuff, boom, and a piece of pie. That's what the honey butter chicken biscuit's all about. It's like, just get it now. Why wait? Two people who said this to me in 9 years, who's like, I don't believe in God, but I believe there's God back there. That's how good that biscuit is. Come and support all these small businesses, especially Black-owned businesses. Come back to the CD, because we're here. You know, you got different business owners creating their own flavor and their own flair to serve all different taste buds. Not one soul food restaurant is going to be the same. But if it's food that makes your soul happy, which in turn makes your spirit happy, because I feel like they're one and the same, then keep doing that. People are going to come. So come support everybody. That's what we're here for. It's community. And without each other, we don't have nothing.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was soul food. That was good. I remember eating there that day too. That was incredible. Now I told Nikki I shot a lot of footage with a cell phone. The food footage, the one where it showed the looked like a camera or something there, that was me. Really, I could get what you're saying there with rotoscoping. I get that. I get that. Thank you. Once again, team effort. Always a team effort. My editors did a phenomenal job. The team I worked with and our editing team did a magnificent job of turning the footage into a story. I can always capture an interview. I can sit down and do my 10 or 15 questions with them, put lights up, do all the rest of that. But unless someone behind me, yes, great team. Unless someone behind me who's editing it can put the story together, it's no good. Now, don't get me wrong, I can edit and put these stories together myself. Time is also important, and flavor is also important. Each person puts their own flavor on it, and this editing team that's doing this for the group that I get hired for does a great job with taking what's been captured and then disseminating it into a story that is just unbelievably powerful and grabs the community and talks to the community like no other. So I think that's one of the most phenomenal things about working with these teams. Nikki, once again, like I showed you, all the outside shots were shot with a smartphone. It was just raining. Yeah, it's one of those days where it's like, I didn't have a cover for the camera. I wasn't going to take a chance. So I just shot with this. And because of all the technology and the apps that are available now, I actually do some of my programs for like live events or events where we're doing video capture that's in vertical integration. I use these. I have a special gimbal for this that can go for like all day. Oh, that's a great question. How do you ask good and effective questions? It's all about them, and it's always about an open-ended question, and a lot of it is listening ahead of time. You want to sit down with them for 10 or 15 minutes and just have a conversation and do more listening than talking during that conversation to find out who they are as a person before you start the interview. And that helps you kind of guide into it. You may have a list of questions already that are given to you by an executive producer or by a team that hired you on. At the same time, you've got to be able to sometimes modify those questions to fit who they are in front of you. The other part is not talking. That pause right there I just did, they're necessary. People take time to process what you've asked them. And sometimes there's pauses in there. And instead of you trying to fill that pause while they're processing what they were going to say next, it's the hardest part of being an interviewer is just not speaking. Ask the question, allow them to continue to answer it. If they see a pause in them, a lot of times hand gestures help because you can, you want to make sure they're done talking. So if they are done, they're like, oh no, I'm done. But if you're like, and they're like, oh yeah, and this, and this. So, I was just kind of processing it. These hand gestures that are open hand gestures that allow them to feel comfortable to speak is very, very important. So that's one of the cool things. How do you make your client less camera shy? It's you. If you're comfortable, with them, they're going to be stressed out. Sometimes they're going to be so stressed having that camera in front of their face. They're going to be like, oh my God. But if you come across like, oh, it's cool. I get it. I know you're stressed. I know this isn't what you normally do. So, I'm cool. I'm ready to go. When you're ready to go, we can go on it. If you need a couple of minutes, it's great. Another good thing to do for nervous people are do I not? I don't have one in front of me, but say you got an Atmos monitor. Turn the monitor around so they can see themselves. Because once you've set up all your lighting and composure, you don't really need the monitor. Because once you've got all the color right, once you've got your IREs right, you know what it's going to turn out like. But they don't. And sometimes them seeing themselves and it's like looking in the mirror and go, oh, I look good. I look great. I can do this. That's a cool thing to do. And then sometimes just allowing breaks. This is one of the biggest key tools I've learned is we can be in the middle of asking questions and we may have hit a subject matter that's just really too much at the moment, or they're trying to figure out the best answer for it, and you just allow them to step away for a minute or two. Give yourself enough time for that. That is probably one of the biggest things is the time management. Don't make it so hard for them to be there. Allow them to have a moment to walk away. Get a glass of water. You'd be surprised. They could be nervous. They need a glass of water, and they're trying to answer the question and just can't speak because their throat is dry because they tensed up. Allow them to walk away. Allow them to get a glass of water. Allow them to take a moment. Sometimes this is important too. That's happened so many times. They finally calm down. And have you ever been nervous? Like really, really nervous, like super nervous. And then it's like, oh, I got to go to the restroom. Now, come on. All of us have been there. All of us have been there. Yes. Oddly enough, yes. I have actually seen senators or representatives who need that. And I know that sounds weird, but yes, I've seen senators and representatives who, they don't use a paper bag, they use a hand technique, but like, just to get themselves back. And they'll just turn away and do that real quick and come back. They're people. They're just a regular person that needs to calm down. I mean, they're still going to be in front of the public. They're still going to do a great job, but it's sometimes, they're in their 7th interview. And I've been there where I've been on the red carpet. They're in their 7th interview. And I'll see them turn around and just do that real quick so they can compose themselves. And it's all worth it. Give them the time they need, because if you do, one, you get a reputation of being caring and loving for the people who are coming to do interviews with you. And it also helps, too, if you have the reputation that you're going to take the time, you're going to walk them through them, you're going to explain what's going on. That makes a big difference. Oh, one of the other things. Let's see. On the shy piece, we're back to this question again. It's the lavaliers. I went to using lavaliers versus shotgun microphones. And I use the Rode Wireless Pro ones because they are professional. So they have the lavalier clip-on mic. They fit and they go onto it properly. But they're a lavalier mic. When you have a shotgun microphone, so you have like something over your head looking at you like this, you see that. Shotgun microphones just make people nervous. Those pencil microphones that you have on somebody, I to the point now I almost refuse to use them unless it's in an environment where A, they know it's going to be there in the first place, B, they've had experience with it, and C, I still have a lavalier as a backup. And I'll ask them as we get going with the interviews, this is the shotgun microphone. It's going to be roughly about 8 to 12 inches away from your forehead and aim down towards your mouth and neck area to capture audio. Are you comfortable with that? And sometimes people are like, hell no, I don't want to see that microphone there. And I'm like, cool, works for me. I'll put a lavalier on them with the Rode Wireless Pro. It gets a 32 float recording automatically, so I can always sync if we have any disconnection with the camera for the signal. So they can always sync that later and get perfect audio. So it's with technology, it allows you to make people less nervous. You don't have to use a shotgun microphone on every interview. Learning how to use a lavalier microphone to allow someone to be less nervous, less scared, that makes a huge difference, because the less stuff you have looking at them, the more comfortable they're going to feel. And I do a 2-camera, usually a single light or a dual light setup. I rarely do a key light in the hair light. I usually try to find an environmental hair light, because when there's 3 lights on somebody, or there's a light in front and a light in back, oh, you're going to make them nervous. You gonna make them nervous, and that's not what you want to do. So those are all great questions. Now, we're about 40 minutes into the broadcast. I've got one last video, and I kind of want to do this one because it was a fun one. I started the year off with this one with one of my good friends, Deontay. And Deontay is by far one of the funnest people to be with. And then the second cam op that was with us. So the B-roll on this one is all to my boy. And he did such a great job. And I can't say enough just how important it is to have teammates who can do the extras. I mean, my boy's from New York. He does his thing. Always comes through. I got you, buddy. I got you. I'm going to hit this one up. I'm going to hit this shot up. I'm going to get this every single time. I've loved the experience of shooting with him. And Deontay is always just, let's just say the energy from him is beautiful. It's powerful. His way of conveying and telling the story about somebody and about what's going on in an environment is beautiful. So this next one here is celebrating a couple of my friends, and let's get going.
Hey everybody, Deontay Damper here, and today I am on the $1 billion celebrity cruise ship. They are giving me a tour, and they're calling Seattle home for the summer. Come on. Now we're here at one of the peaceful areas on the deck. We're here in the retreat. It's for our special suite guests, and when I tell y'all, I feel so relaxed. I mean, look at this view. We have a pool in the back, and you know, I feel like relaxed. Now I'm here on the celebrity cruise ship on the magic carpet, and what's so great about this space is that it goes up and it goes down. And while it's doing that, I got a fabulous mocktail. Okay, we're here at the Grand Plaza at the heart of the ship in a stunning martini bar. There's always something exciting happening here with live music, performances, dance classes, and so much more. Oh wow, okay. I knew when I was coming to the martini bar, I was in for a treat. Did you see that? These performances were amazing. From the staff to the performances, I would be in the martini bar all day. I'm a little hungry now. I'm now here at Eaton's Restaurant, one of the specialty restaurants on the ship, and it's a venue like none other. When I say they have delicious treats and eats, look at this food right here. Come on, come eat with me. Wow. In case you haven't noticed, Eaton's Restaurant is more than just a meal. It is a specialty food journey. This food is delicious. The staff is amazing. And this is like food for the soul. Celebrity Edge is changing the future of entertainment at the sea or anywhere else for that matter. I mean, check out their amazing theater. I'm talking about shows. I am talking about an exclusive board. Come check it out.
For entertainment, we have some incredible production shows, as I said, stadium-style concerts, to our Shakespeare show, which is all based on A Midsummer's Night's Dream, with our acrobats are the lead characters. We have 1920s speakeasy-style shows, along with our incredible live music program around all of our venues, such as Eden, in the club, in the Grand Plaza. We've got a brilliant youth program, so all the kids, it's very family-friendly. And then celebrity activities from axe throwing to archery to aquafits. There is so much to do. Even in Alaska, we can do games in the pool. Compared to other cruise ships, because it's a theatre in the round, you can sit in any part of the theatre and see a show completely differently. It makes you feel more connected to just the performers. The performers come out into the audience, they interact with everyone, so it is just more of a more blended audience experience. Just come join us, come see what it's all about. Edge is a whole new experience. It's the first time being in Alaska, going up to the glaciers on a magic carpet hanging over the side with this incredible live entertainment, listening to acoustic music as you watch the waves wash by in the Eden, and this theatre just sells itself. So come see what it's all about, because you don't know what it's about until you see it.
Right now, I'm in the Sea Thermal Suite. An amazing suite where you can get your spa treatment, your facial, you can get your nails done. And right now, I think I'm going to get me a little spa treatment.
So I'm here now in one of the veranda rooms. Spacious, glorious from the view. I just want to relax. When I tell you I had such an amazing time today, from the magic carpet to Eden's restaurant to the theater and spa, Celebrity Cruises is where it is at. And you can be there too to get a home away from home by the sea. Go to celebritycruises.com so you can book a room and get a home away from home.
All right, all right, all right. So most of that B-roll that was on there was either provided by Celebrity Cruises or it was filmed by Cisco. And Cisco is one of the most amazing videographers you will ever meet out there when it comes to doing slow-mo clips and telling a story with multiple small clips of B-roll. He is absolutely amazing. And so if you ever need somebody to do B-roll, Cisco is just your man. Give me a holler. I can get you set up with him, with my boy. We can get this whole thing done. He's one of the teammates I love working with. He's just phenomenal to work with. Deontay, as usual, just tells a story like you wouldn't believe, puts the energy into it, and just it's a lovely experience. There was a little bit of B-roll that was mine. I've forgotten. The food, that was on me. The food, the B-roll for the food was me because, I was like, I want to be in the restaurant while he's up there doing the other stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I get the food. All right, so that was a really cool experience. Overall, I just wanted to say, last year, 2025, was a year of community. And it was such a beautiful year for me to be able to be in the community, be part of the community, and work within the community to tell their stories. Alongside all of the other corporate jobs I was doing, large events I was doing, being able to be established and help the community get their story across is one of the most amazing gifts of what I get to do. And since I own the company, sometimes I give the time away for free. Sometimes I give it away for, to do projects like these. They're just so important. On top of that, these are all the projects you saw there were paid projects for who I was actually hired in to do the work with, which was fun. Now, thank you, Nikki, for the praise, but praise the team that worked with me. First and foremost, if you're in AV Productions right now or in any way, shape, and form, remember your team. I mean, you can be one of those people who can do everything and anything you want. There's a couple of people out there that had great teachers who've been able to jump in and do a lot of things because of their teachers. I'm one of those, very, very lucky. Started my education in 1993. Started doing live shows in 1993, like from pre-production, post-production, multi-camera, live television style shows. And then we were also doing mini docs and mini movies. But without a team, you're not going to get accomplished, either at the pace you want to or as well as you can, because just because you have a vision doesn't mean somebody else can't look at your vision and go, oh, we could augment it, we could make it better, we can make it more powerful. And it's always a we that's more powerful than an individual. So always remember that your team is just as important as you, or more important than you, because they highlight and give you more options down the road. That's why I've said the whole time here, my team made me look good. It was lucky enough that I'm able to gather the footage, the sound, and all the rest. But if it's not put together right, if I don't have an executive producer who's picking the right locations, the right places for me to be, being a producer and director of photography doesn't mean anything. If I'm going out to the wrong locations, I'm not doing the right stuff there, you just can't get the job done. So remember, always praise the people that make you shine, and always shine a light back on them, because without them, you aren't as powerful as you think you are. You just happen to be there, but you really do need to be humble and remember all the people that work with you. Also, Nikki, thank you for being out here today, man. You always are showing support and throwing some comments up, and I love it. Do you have any questions on how to do interviews, how to do lighting? Because we did everything in there. We did interviews, lightings, B-roll, storytelling, shot lists. We do storyboarding of this. How those all came out that way is by doing all of those steps. So it's not a singular step, it's multiple steps. So if you have any questions, then I'd love to have those questions from you. And Nikki's always comes with good questions. I'm not sure if Nikki's still on any longer. being in the app, you can't see everything, and I'm producing this myself, so it's always fun. All right, so we're at our last. I'm going to do my last 5 minutes here. Here's the pitch to everybody. If you're looking for AV services, be it a recap video, impact video, live streaming, live to tape, archive videos, which are really important too, I'm here for you to support you. We can also handle your live events. We can handle being able to do the sound, light, video, iMag, and stage production for you, and take a load off of you to make your life easier. So yeah, definitely. I just got a couple questions in. We'll start with interviews. Any tips? Yes. Make sure you have who, what, when, where, how questions. Those are very open-ended. It allows them to speak on the subject matter a little bit longer, and there's not a definitive yes or no so that they have to prove a why behind it, which helps because in those situations when you're trying to prove your why, sometimes you're defending it. Whereas when you're talking about a what, a who, a where, and how, you're just going over the processes and how you were thinking and where those thoughts were coming from. And that's always important. Partnerships. Where do you find your clients? Partnerships. So there's sometimes when I'm reaching out, I reach out probably 1,000 times a month to different previous clients or people I've worked with in the past or something like that. So I'm always reaching out. When I reach out, I bring something to the table other than please hire me. For example, in February, there's a couple of cool holidays going on. So one of the holidays I'm talking about right now, which I think we're close to that day. Let me look it up real quick. Give me just a second. I'm going to pull up the message I've sent out. And I have a pretty large connection on LinkedIn. Let's see. Yep. So February, we are talking about, the light holidays. So when I email out to them, I hope they're doing good for the month. As we all know, it's going to be Valentine's this month on the 14th, but don't forget, there's some fun light heart holidays. So you're going to have stuff like National Pizza and Bagel Day. Look it up. That's an actual day. National Frozen Yogurt Day. That's another fun one. And it's something I can throw in the office and have fun and be able to bring in. So you give them a tool. And then, of course, for our specific Northwest people, we have the National Clam Chowder Day. Now, these are all national holidays that are sitting for February, which is pretty cool. So I'll bring that up. Then I also talk about packages I have available and, just ask how they're doing and what's going on. But, if you do that and you have a human touch, people really, really do enjoy talking with you. And you're looking at options. And like I said, with partnerships, you want to always bring something to the table. So always be willing to partner with somebody, another team, because you may have stuff going on. They might not have stuff going on. They may have something going on, and you may have something going on, and that's how you build that up. Got it. You noted on the questions there. Any other questions real quick? Oh, yeah. We're back to interview tips. Any tips? Let's see. On interviews. Lighting. Lighting. And one more time. Lighting. If you could get anything to improve your video on the visual side, it's lighting. Get yourself a 300 to a 600 watt light with a nice light modifier, and that will set you completely apart from everybody. And you're welcome. But you're asking for tips? Those are going to be my tips. That lighting is huge. That's got to be the number one thing for the visual side of it. Have a good light. It gives you options that you would normally not have. You have a 300 watt light, that works. If you got a 300 watt light, that works. Light modifiers at that point are important. But other than that, 300 watt light, 300 to 600, you're good. I personally have two 600s and three 500s. So that's where I'm at. So I'm excessive. So I got 3 300-watt lights, 2 600-watt lights. I'm ordering in some tube lights for color in the background and stuff like that. But I mean, it's important. Another thing, the last tip I have for interviews, sound. Make sure you can get good sound. If it means you have an external recorder with 32-bit float recording because you're using shotgun microphones and then have sound going back into your cameras, make sure you get great sound capture with 2 recording points for your sound, minimum. So, for example, I use the Rode Wireless Pros with the recording on all the time because I know for a fact I'm going to get a recording in the Rode Wireless Pro and I'm going to get a recording on the camera, which means I'm good. No matter what, I'm good. But you always have 2 points of recording for sound, and you always want to make sure one of those points of sound can be a perfect recording, meaning it's on the person, no signal transmission can affect how that recording is. So that could either be, an external recorder or whatever it is. You want to do that in one shape or form. Yes, safety. You always want to have safety. If you do happen to have 2 cameras, that's a plus. So a wide and a tight always helps you in interviews because if you have a corrupt wide or a corrupt tight, you still have something to work with. That way you have, once again, a backup to a backup. These are all things that are possible. And last but not least, don't worry about what camera you're using. Just make sure you use the camera that you have. That is probably one of the hardest things that's hard for people. I went out to an event. I was just capturing some B-roll and vertical integration, and they were like, I want to say something. And I went, oh, gotcha. So I put this camera with the Rode Wireless Pro connected to the bottom, and we did an interview right there, and that became one of their key pieces they use on their website right now. And they do donations for homeless, and they also do donations for those who need food. It's a human touch piece, and I just happened to have that camera with me, and I had a Rode wireless mic with me, and it came out beautifully. So that's really some of the things you have to do. We're sitting at 3 minutes left, so thank y'all for joining. It's been about an hour. You didn't have to be here, but you were, so I appreciate you. Beyond that, let's call it a do. Let me get set up the fade to black screen. That's the only thing I didn't do on this one. I didn't set up a fade to black. That's unusual for me not to do that. We'll be fading to black here in just a minute. I just want to thank everybody for showing up. Nikki, as usual, appreciate you being here. You are actually number one. I'm not the number one here. You are. You always showing up. Appreciate you. Beyond that, everyone have a magnificent day. It looks like we're going to have a gorgeous sunny rest of the day here in the Pacific Northwest, at least in the Seattle area. So I'm most likely going to try to get a walk with my wife and get out and have a great day. So I'll catch y'all later. Peace.